I'm alive, and we have made a bunch of progress, like in real life. Not a bunch, but like, I can hear things now. I'll go into that in a little bit. Also, there's like stuff with My Sweet Carol that I'm gonna go over in just a second, but I gotta promote myself real quick. I had found a different box to put my microphone on, and I think this works a lot better, especially with like how my posture is and how tall I am and like how short the desk is in comparison to me and all that stuff. So 1 second. I had found a different box. Discord. Yes. I shall promote myself. But yeah, there's like a lot of things like going on in my head at the moment. It's like a lot, but at the same time it's like not much at all. Which is very odd, but it'll make sense when I go into it. Let's see. I don't know. How would I best minimize OBS back in here. So, I was misled by the walkthrough, cause my fiance, like, helped me get through the puzzle and stuff, and, it was straightforward. It was, like, very painfully straightforward. Like, we were actually just supposed to just, like, get through that whole electric bit. It was frustrating, but it was passable. I was a little worried that my game was glitched because the walkthrough wasn't working for me. But hey, progress is progress. I can move on with that. So we'll be able to get back to Buy Sweet Carol on Monday. And the reason why I didn't put like part anything for the Roottreemania thing is because hopefully in this stream we will complete the entirety of Roottreemania. Because if we complete this, then we could just continue Party Hard. We could just continue that for Wednesdays instead. Because I think that would be cool, and I had a lot of fun playing Party Hard. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk a little bit about Iron Lung a bit more. Primarily just like my plan of like when I'm going to like speak more about Iron Lung. Because I obviously don't want to do spoilers. So what I'm thinking of like how long I'm going to wait is that I'm going to wait until Iron Lung is like available for like streaming services, so that way it'll be easier for a lot of other people to watch it. And then like by that time, then I'll wait like a week or two to like give people like obviously like enough time to like be able to watch the movie, because I do want people to watch the movie, and I also want to like probably give myself some time to watch the movie again, so that way my memory's a lot fresher on it. Plus I just want to watch the movie again because it's really good, and I want to make sure that I heard things correctly, because I talked about it in the previous stream where I have like a weird auditory thing. But yeah, I'm really glad that we managed to fix the audio thing. I didn't have to get like an extra USB cord. I guess I just had to adjust the audio settings on my computer. It was honestly as simple as that, but I'm glad it's working now. I'm glad I can hear things. I also felt really embarrassed that I was reading over the voice acting in the last Roottrees Are Dead stream. Mainly because I didn't remember that there was voice acting. I didn't remember that there was voice acting at all because, like, I wasn't sure. Like, I knew that there would be, like, voice acting for, like, TV and radio and stuff, but, like, that was kind of the extent of what I kind of figured. So, yeah, I feel embarrassed for talking over the voice acting. I even, like, added it in the description because I had listened back to it a little bit. Like, is the audio good and whatnot? Because I was a little worried that it would have, like, messed something up with the stream and whatnot. But yeah, everything is good on my end. A tiny bit of TMI. I'm not even sure if this is classified as TMI. It's, to me, it's a bit personal. I managed to get some cleaning done. It's helped my mood at least a little bit. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about something that I kind of learned recently. For some reason, I really like the way that that my lips feel when I'm wearing lipstick while I'm talking. It's very weird to describe, but like if I wear lipstick and I'm talking, I just like how that feels. It's very strange. And I actually learned that on the day that I went out to go watch Iron Lung because, like, I put on lipstick, I installed my eyebrows, like, I went all out because I wanted to look nice because we were going out to a movie that I hoped that would be really good, and it was really damn good. That was the day that I found out that I like how lipstick feels on my face. And I feel like that's a good thing in general because not only do I just look better with lipstick on, so it boosts my confidence a bit more and like my self-image, and it could also like encourage me to talk more and all that. So I've been trying to wear lipstick a lot more whenever like I know that I'm gonna feel like I'm gonna talk a lot. Or just whenever I feel like it, so like that's been going well for me. A little bit of extra confidence boostage. I don't know why I feel the need to talk about that. I genuinely don't. I'm just a weird person. Like, it's... Maybe the reason why I wanted to share is because it's, like, a relatively positive thing. And especially with, like, everything going on when, like, we haven't, like, been, like, through 2 months yet. Like, we've just begun the second month of this year and, like, everything's already been going to shit. And I feel like talking about, like, very small, very simple and positive stuff could, like, help, like, bring something to, like, brighten a day or two. I don't know. It's like a good distraction from the hell that's going on. Anyway, like, does continue just go into Roottreemania? Continue? Do we just go into Roottreemania? Hello? Hello? What? I thought we were going to Roottreemania. What is this? Hello? Number of optional entries left for next time.
So, that
yeah, we've already been through this. Blah blah blah. We found out that they were gay when my brain, for some reason, had made a completely different conclusion. Blah blah blah.
We're rolling, rolling, rolling on down to the sea.
Oh! I didn't realize that there was... Oh yeah, we didn't listen to the songs. Cause I didn't know that like you could play stuff. There's another mystery to solve. Roottreemania is now unlocked as a new game. Oh. Okay. Roottreemania will spoil unlocked content. Make sure you've tied up any loose ends before starting. Well, I don't think I'd be able to. Oh. Hello? Who are you?
Hi, I'm Clark. Probably not who you expected to be knocking, but life's funny sometimes.
Oh yeah, you're the guy that remarried and shit. You did like an ad for like the Super Bowl.
You've done well staying anonymous. It took us a while to track you down. A lot has happened in the last year. Far too much of it public. But there's stuff going on behind the scenes, too. I never wanted to be president. I'm not great with stress. With my mother's deteriorating I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I'm not here for sympathy. I'm here because part of the fallout of Sam's book is that everyone's coming out of the woodwork. Now that it's public knowledge that Clancy Trust covers any Roottrees despite their history with us, a lot of potential cousins have surfaced. You may have seen that man on the cover of News Time. It was a disaster for us. And then Miracle went and made it all about himself. The long and short of it is a lot of potential cousins just showed up. Sam's helping some of them, but she's not really going about it the right way. And she's not taking calls from anyone in the family. I let it slip through a mutual friend that I found you, and I was stopping in. It's manipulative, but I'm hoping she'll reach out to you. You can let her know I'm on her side. In the meantime, if you're willing, I can share our files with you. Pass them along to Sam if she reaches out. I'm genuinely hoping she'll realize I'm an ally. Feel free to do your own research. I've been told you enjoy things like this.
I do.
To each their own.
So let's see. Today is August 3rd, 1999. It has been 8 months since you helped Sam Madsen with the research necessary for her book. Sam was true to her word and paid you an incredibly large sum of money. She never mentioned you by name, however, so you've managed to keep a low profile. The Roottrees, on the other hand, have not. Below is a summary of notable events since the book's release. 6 pieces, the Rootree Rift, Clark Rafferty LaRue, 5 keys with a golden star, Roottreemania, and Anonymom. Ooh, there's extra stuff. Okay. Blah, blah. Notable events since the book's release, though you can refresh your memory in full detail by searching online. Ooh, love that for me, because we know that I have the memory of a goldfish. 6 pieces. Sam Madsen's book about Elias Roottrie was released in February. It was a bestseller for a few months. At the time, Carl had not yet been replaced. the Roottrees rift. In March, the Roottrees company stumbled publicly as they attempted to respond to the book's release, with multiple conflicting press releases and a clear lack of leadership. Well, yeah, I can't imagine how good it would look if, like, the original family was homophobic in the modern day. Well, modern, because it's 1999, but, like, I know that there was a whole bunch of stuff like that, like, in, like, the late 90s, early 2000s, where there was, like, if I'm remembering correctly, like, a big push for, like, pro-LGBTQ stuff. I may have to, like, do, like, some extra research and stuff, but, like, from my memory, there was, like, a big push for, like, pro-LGBTQ stuff. Clark Rafferty LaRue. Clark was announced as the permanent successor of Carl Roottrees and welcomed Sam Madsen to the family officially. The company hired an outside legal group to handle the changes to the Clancy Trust. This included any other new questions of lineage. The 5 Ps. After this announcement, there was a rash of different people claiming to be Roottrees, mostly dismissed as opportunists and scammers. The highest profile of these, by a wide margin, was a rapper named Felix Fellows, who changed his moniker to 5 Ps as a publicity move at the same time. 5 Ps is the only notable person on the updated tree. Is that supposed to be like a pun on, like, what's that rapper's name? 50 Cent? I don't know. Roottreemania. In another high-profile misstep, Miracle Roottrees publicly and vehemently denied that 5 Ps was a Roottrees. The Roottrees legal team then offered to do a DNA test to get 5 Ps to drop his claim. And in a moment that caught what seemed like the entire world by storm, the test proved he was a Roottrees. Suddenly, the world was obsessed with the Roottrees. Anonymom and Jane Doe Roottrees. In July, an anonymous woman, who the press began to refer to as Anonymom, appeared in interviews with her face and voice disguised. She claimed that an affair with a Roottrees led to the birth of her daughter, aka Jane Doe Roottrees. If true, this would make her daughter yet another secret Roottrees, and therefore entitled to a share of the Clancy Trust. Nobody knew it at the time, but this would turn out to be the last chapter of the Roottreemania saga. As more and more of Anonymom's story came out, people began to notice how much it echoed 5 Ps in nearly every significant way. The court of public opinion began to turn, confirming the world's suspicions. The DNA test, orchestrated by lawyers on both sides, proved that her daughter was not a Roottrees. This final event caused public disappointment, smugness from doubters, and countless accusations of the entire ordeal being an elaborate hoax or attempt at fraud. Things got a bit ugly, and the fun of Roottreemania seemed to disappear overnight. Now, a month later, it feels like a distant memory. This is a new investigation with a new focus, after many months of newfound interest in the Roottrees. It is recommended you try to catch up with some of what happened since last time. Some web searches may yield new or different results, and some books and magazines from your previous investigation may be relevant to your new one. It's also a much more widespread search. The list of first and last names you can choose from will contain red herrings. Not all of them will be used. Crap. This is gonna suck for me. Below is a reminder of some of the most notable beats of your initial dive into the Roottrees family tree. All evidence from before is still available, and for your convenience, any searches that do not lead to new information will still function as they did during your first investigation. The Roottrees Candy Company was founded by Elias and Gwyneth many years ago. The entire family has a financial reliance on the health of that company. Most of the action took place in or around Butler County, Pennsylvania, where the company was initially located. Elias, Carl, and Raina were on the cover of magazines. Other notable Roottrees such as Lauren Roottree, Miracle Roottree, and Jim Roottree had physical media such as record albums, books, and movies associated with them. Lauren's 2 diaries were probably the most useful resources overall, mentioning many of her relatives directly. The 5 pieces, Elias's children, could be identified based on the initials of the original candy flavors. There were 5 presidents of the Roottrees Company, many were featured in periodicals. Stephanie Jones and Brian Jones were featured in campaign posters and led to Caroline Morden's art book, which enabled you to fill out more of the tree. Many of the younger Roottrees were found by following a complex rabbit hole through a conspiracy site that led to finding a searchable web address for Chris Rafferty, Lauren's grandson. November Roottree was really difficult to place. Her occupation could only be found via Brian Jones's company's website. Ronald and her brother Robert Roottree go by Ron and Robbie. Both work on a TV show called Brother Trouble, until Robbie embezzled money and fled to Paris. Ron unsuccessfully tried to have Robbie removed from the Clancy Trust. Sam and her father were critically mentioned in a book about historical letters. There were also a few dead ends and red herrings. Aloysius Herring Roottree, who claimed he was a Roottree but was not. Family Man, a book about Elias Roottree, turned out to be propaganda and not useful. Lauren's other books, historical romance novels, were not very useful on their own, though could lead to other information. Caroline Morden's sculptures were not useful. Today is August 3rd, 1999. There was a knock at your door. Clark Rafferty Lowell, the current president of the Roottrees Candy Company, explained that multiple people have come out of the woodwork to claim to be Roottrees. He has been trying to work with Sam, but she has not answered his calls. He also handed you a letter that he said you could share with Sam and said the following. To both of you, the company I hired to help us with the Clancy Trust is busy pouring through the entire family's history, as well as people they may have had contact with. That said, the family is not particularly happy with this, and are doing their best to slow things down. Many of them are actively avoiding our interviews. Every time there's a high-profile public case, it causes headaches. So please, I don't mind if you do your research, but I ask that you stop going to the press. Instead, we have a highly trained team of lawyers to back you up. We're ready and willing to verify anyone and everyone you believe could be realistically part of a relationship that led to the birth of a new Roottrie. Just tell us who to investigate by filling in the new sections of the tree, and we'll take the time to handle verifying that the timeline checks out. But keep in mind why we're here. If someone didn't have a child or has already been disqualified by our lawyers, like in the case of the girl with a negative DNA test, there won't be a place for them on the tree. We're not just looking for affairs and infidelities, we're only looking for the ones that led to potential new Roottrees. Some spots in the new section will be marked with a tree icon. Those areas are reserved for members of the original family Roottree you filled in 8 months ago. Just like last time, be sure to use birth names for everyone you add. Married nicknames and nicknames won't be enough. To start sorting out the infidelities, I recommend you turn your eyes to the men in positions of power. I'd love to say that's only because it would have been a lot harder for the women to hide 9 months of pregnancy and birth without the family noticing, but I can't. I'll be blunt, I'm no stranger to infidelity. I wish I could claim that I was a perfect husband, but you've seen the family tree, so why pretend? Some of us learned how to wield our family name and fortune to our benefit, consequences be damned. I can't change the past or unheard those whom I betrayed. Instead, all I can do is be honest with myself and to you, refuse to make any more mistakes, and do my best to sort out the various messes we've left behind. So please fill in the tree, and together we can figure out how to begin to make amends. Good luck, and thank you both, Clark. Let's see what they knew it was Walter Forsythe that had to be there. April Quaritch. Quaritch is a badass surname, I'm gonna say that, alright? These pictures with him. Ooh! There's a new picture for you. Is there like other stuff? Ooh, there's a new picture for him. There's a new picture for you. There's no pictures over here. Hi, Mom. Hi, Dinkers. Let's see. Possible infidelity number 1, 1921. Possible infidelity number 2, 1949. Possible infidelity number 3, 1975 to 1982. And then family tree update 1998. Ooh. This person was fucking round. To open this envelope after the whole family tree has been filled in, you have to be extra sleuthy this time around to deduce the truth. Pay close attention to what you find and be sure to look into loose ends. Ah, fuck. We're gonna have to rely on the duck for this one. Why does the background have the sound of rain? I don't know. My microphone likes to pick up a lot of stuff. You're probably hearing like cars and shit. It's not raining. Yeah, it's not raining. I have a pop filter and everything, so like I don't know. I'd probably have to like find a way to like fill the apartment with extra stuff so that way like all of the sound can be like captured and stuff so that way it can just focus on me. Cause like the only way that I can have my computer is like, no, it's good sound, best I've heard it. It was in-game rain. You sure? I don't hear any in-game rain. Let's see. Handshaking, acknowledging the Alright, let's see. Low background rain. Stopped when they got back. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't hear any in-game rain. 5 keys. Felix Fellows is a rapper who has found some recent radio play after being publicly confirmed as a long-lost Roottrees entitled to part of their fortune. His alias, 5 Ps, as a play on 5 pieces. An article he found on a website known for their particularly harsh reviews of modern music, it gives his most recent album, Root of All Evil, 1 star out of 7 for whatever reason, with a headline, More Poser Than My Action Figure Collection. A review mentions his real name is David and he used to go by Dirte Davy. And the author rues the fact that this rebranding was a blatant marketing stunt on the expense of his mother's tragic past. She overdosed when he was 16. Apparently, only one of the songs in the album is new, and the others were simply rewritten to turn blatant references to sex, drugs, and violence into clumsy euphemisms. His rise to prominence was kickstarted when he appeared a few months ago in the cover of News Time, holding a photo of his mother with Guy Hudson. At first, the Roottrees company denied it vehemently, Miracle Roottree even appeared in the same magazine a week later, but since then they backtracked and publicly welcomed him to the family tree. Their press release at the time stated that they had new evidence that confirmed the story. I'm gonna need to look into that, because that's gonna be important. Newstime is a major news periodical that releases a new issue every week. The rapper 5Ps famously appeared on the cover claiming to be a Roottrie. Oh, I could get a picture of him if that's the case. Then, 1 week later, Miracle Roottrie did the same, denying that he was. Because of this high-profile back-to-back discourse right before the start of Roottreemania, they appeared to be the de facto publication to get news about the ongoing Roottrie saga. They reported record subscriber numbers during this time, which lasted until the end of Roottreemania, when the world generally stopped paying much attention and they went back to reporting on more traditional news. Newstime appears to be available via your periodical search. Nice. Let's look up Miracle again. See if there's new stuff. It seems Miracle Sr. is going on a new tour of the United States in late 1999. The previous flyer from 3 generations of Miracles has been placed. Be a part of history. The oldest living Roottrie reprises and retells his incredible true story. Miracle Roottrie grew up as one of the famous 5 pieces, living a life of wealth and luxury. Fortune was nothing compared to the powerful force of the Almighty. Doctors determined he was destined to die young, but fate had different plans. He has lived a long and fruitful life. However, he's now in his 70s, and his age is beginning to make life on the road more difficult. So consider this your last chance to see him in a town near you before he settles back down in Pennsylvania. In this intimate evening, Miracle will reminisce about his famous history. He'll discuss his family's saints and sinners, and provide a unique perspective on one of the most notable families in the United States today. Learn what originally drove him away from his fortune and into the arms of religion, and learn how his life has become more wealthy in spirit than it ever could have been from his inheritance. The site also lists the churches he will be appearing in and mentions that tickets can be purchased at their local services. Noticeably absent are any mentions about Miracle's new appearances. Roottreemania. Let's go to that. Roottreemania immediately followed the announcement that a rapper going by 5Ps was actually a Roottrie. Collectively, popular culture seemed to focus on the Roottrie family and 5Ps for a few weeks before everything felt oversaturated and society moved on. Because of the 5Ps saga, an underlying through line to how pop culture treated Roottreemania was an excuse for everyday people to claim they were also Roottries. Daytime talk shows that I'm a Secret Roottrie episodes, late night hosts, and guests made jokes about other lost members of the family, and there was a widely shared website where you could fill in your own name to find out if you were a secret Roottrie. When you submitted your name, it simply said no, with an image of Clark Rafferty LaRue giving you the finger. Damn. I'm a secret Roottrie. Daytime talk shows. Let's look up Clark. Clark Rafferty LaRue is the new president of the Roottrie Corporation. This does not include Root, which appears to have its own new leadership. Ooh, I gotta look into that. It's like, what happened with that? In early March of 1999, about 5 months ago, it was announced that both Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottrie would be taking over for what was essentially described as a transitional period in the aftermath of 6 pieces. About 2 weeks later, the company released a press... Oh yeah, I gotta look up 6 pieces. About 2 weeks later, the company released a press statement that thanked Ron for his work, but announced that Clark was the new permanent president. Most of the information about Clark you knew already. Many descriptions of him tend to focus on his advertising career and that his mother was Lauren Roottrees. Few seem to touch on his complex and volatile marital history. Since taking over, Clark has tried to remain out of the spotlight, but did have one notable foray into the public eye. He gained a lot of support when his first move was a statement in favor of accepting Sam and her family into the trust. This also served as an announcement that the Clancy Trust would no longer be handled by anyone in the family, since due to their financial motivation, none of them would ever be impartial. So, let's see. 6 pieces. 6 Pieces, Unwrapping America's Sweetest Family by Sam Madsen was released in early 1999, and perhaps assisted by the still relatively recent plane crash, shot to the top of the charts. Reviews were mixed, and its time on the bestsellers list was limited to only 2 months. Most reviewers agreed that the core of the book, about Samantha's fathers and the struggles they faced, was compelled and that the takedown of the hypocrisy of Elias Roottrees was deserved. However, many took umbrage at the timing of the release and the tone of the book, which seemed vindictive. The fallout from the book led to the Roottrees company scrambling to release a statement, and due to a conflict of leadership, famously released multiple conflicting official statements over 3 days. This confusing move was referenced in popular culture due to a late-night sketch about indecisionitis. But more traditional analysts have been calling it the Roottrees rift. A few months later, due to Roottreemania, the book re-entered the charts and sold even better than the first time. Indecisionitis is a disease coined by a popular sketch show as part of a fake pharmaceutical advertisement for Jit Together. While the segment isn't fully about the Roottrees Candy Company, it was released in the weeks after their bizarre response to the release of 6 Pieces by Sam Madsen, and references the recent news. In the sketch, a woman ordered a number 5 at a drive-thru speaker. Then, after pulling 4, she changed her mind at the window, asking to switch it to a number 3. This caused a lengthy backup and annoyance amongst the restaurant's employees and other patrons. After she pulled away, as the employees began helping other customers, the same woman then barged into the restaurant and passed the current line, loudly complaining that she didn't receive her number 5. After this, the sketch transitioned from the restaurant scene into a pharmaceutical commercial. A doctor claims that the woman was suffering from indecisionitis, a disease that causes extreme confusion and irritability, and has recently been found to severely hinder the leaders of large corporations, but could also spread to humans. The doctor then recommends Jit Together, a fake pharmaceutical drug. Multiple testimonials use variations of the catchphrase, "When I can't make my tough decisions, I gotta get my jit together." Jesus. The final testimonial included a bald man in silhouette with a voice changer saying, "I'm not comfortable sharing who I am, but I am comfortable saying that before I took over my family's candy company, I really should have gotten my jit together." Is that Clark? Oh, yeah. Let's look into Root. The Root website was a small memorial mention to the deceased members of the family, but it contains no new information. The most recent catalog, spring of 1999, had an entirely black cover with no text on it. On the leadership page, you learn that Root, is currently managed by a designer who is apparently Barbara White's second in command. You don't recognize her name, and she seems unrelated to your search. You think so, but I think that she is entirely relevant. There's also a scholarship page. On it, you find information about the Roottrees Sisters Fashion Scholarship. It is awarded to 3 underprivileged high school girls each year who wish to pursue a career in fashion. Apparently, it also gives them an opportunity to show off their designs on professional models on a real runway. Oh, that's cute. According to the site, the fund was created directly from shares that would have contributed to the inheritance of the Roottrees sisters if they were still alive. Like other aspects of the Clancy Trust, it's managed by Ruby Legal Enterprises. Who are you? Ruby Legal Enterprises is the name of the law firm that has been hired by the Roottrees Candy Company. I gotta look up the Roottrees Candy Company because that's been coming up a lot, and there may be new stuff with that. The company is named after the lead lawyer Ruby Spratt. You can't find much about the company from before this year, though all of the articles tell the same tale. After the fiasco of 6 pieces and the revelation that the Roottrees' internal law group was complicit in such cover-up, they hired outside counsel. The Ruby Legal Enterprise Group now seems to have ties to multiple aspects of the Roottrees Corporation, including the candy company and Root. They were recently in the news due to high-profile lawsuit raised against Cicely Sanchez. Ooh. I'm going down a rabbit hole. Cicely Sanchez is an author best known for Portrait of a Changed Man, released in 1979. Her follow-up, Foreign Gospel, in 1984, did not perform as well critically, but still sold quite respectably. Sorry. She has written a few more books since then, including a biography of Van Gogh, but her first 2 are her claim to fame. Hold on. Sorry. According to a site about authors, Cicely is known for her nonfiction, with a focus of exploring darkness in the human psyche. Recently, Cicely appeared in a magazine called Piketty with an article about a book she had been commissioned to write for Guy Hudson. The magazine and Cicely herself were immediately issued a cease and desist due to its inclusion of pictures she had never had the rights to publish. The issue was pulled from store shelves, making it an instant collector's item. Piketty. A piketty is a category of flower with an outline around the edges of its petals. Thanks. Piketty magazine? Thank you. Piketty Magazine is a publication that, as far as you can tell, has no consistent theme. It tends to contain tabloid-esque articles that appear in a wide variety of audiences, and appears in many grocery stores near the checkout line. Unlike traditional tabloids, it doesn't typically feature celebrities on the cover. Actually, is there a way that I could, like, form, like, a booster seat? Actually, no, I could just lift my chair. What am I talking about? Because I have, like, this little lever thing. There we go. Eh. Oh. Might not be it. There we go. Where was I? Oh. Doesn't typically feature celebrities on the cover. Instead, it tends to latch onto and create sensationalist headlines about whatever subject appears to be popular at any given time. In recent years, it has included Beanie Babies, Magic Eye images, and even Red Bull. It has often come under fire for printing fiction along with facts. Piketty gets around this by stating in every issue that all of its articles are all of the hearsay that's fit to print. Ugh, excuse me. this. There we go. There we go. I think that's a bit better. At one point, Piketty ran an article about Cicely Sanchez, an author. She claims to have written an unread book about Guy Hudson. The article was not even the main focus of the issue, yet the magazine was threatened legally by the Roottrees Corporation. That particular issue, the Big Sass Sea Bass issue, was pulled from shelves. It has now become a collector's item, especially amongst conspiracy theorists attempting to figure out what the Roottrees company was hiding. You find a recently finished outline auction that listed a company at over $1,000, though nobody bid. Ruby Spratt. Ruby Spratt, like her legal company, is relatively elusive. The most complete source of information you can find from before her time with the Roottrees is from the website for a magazine owned by a major airline. She was the subject of one article from a reoccurring series about modern-day success stories. Ruby grew up in foster care but excelled at school and earned a scholarship to study at Mid-Eastern University. There, she graduated at the top of her legal class and was quickly hired as a lawyer for a prominent firm. Ooh, I can look up Mid-Eastern University to get a picture of her, maybe from like a yearbook or something. There are a few high-profile corporate-involved cases she was a part of. One was a legal consultant for a class action lawsuit against a manufacturer of steering wheel covers. Oh, steering wheel covers. I read that weirdly. Ugh, my throat feels weird. Another was to help a local gas station chain in her hometown of Portland. Portland? Where is that again? Is that in Michigan? Am I thinking of the right Portland? Hold on. Portland. There is a Portland in Michigan, which is I think what I'm thinking of. But there's also Portland in Oregon. I think. Hold on. Portland. City. It's also on a Maine? Yeah, there's one in Maine. There's also one in Texas? What? There's one in Indiana? This doesn't narrow anything at all because, like, there's so many places that have Portland as a city. Fuck this. Where was I? Oh, yeah. With the rollout of a promotion that allowed gas station customers the ability to bet on the price of gases. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Why would anyone do that? Why? No. Gross. The blurb ends by calling her new firm a double threat. Her company's services are a cross between a traditional lawyer and a PR manager. Mid-Eastern University is a notable private college that advertises itself as midway between Maine and Miami. Portland, Oregon. Okay. Their mascot is the Spectres, though they are not known for their sports programs as much as their education. Their legal and language departments are their pride and joy, though they also have fairly extensive computer science and robotics programs. Along with other prestigious schools that haven't quite reached the notoriety of Ivy League schools, some refer to it as a Little Ivy. The college has embraced this, calling their newspaper the Heterold? Hederold? Hederold? Which is a combination of Hedera, the scientific name for ivy, and Herald. Their website boasts that they have a historical technology museum on campus, including a still functioning computer from the 1960s that takes up a full room. Damn. They also have a printing press that they use to print one special year-end issue for the Herald. I'm still struggling to figure out how to pronounce that. I'm just gonna call it Herald. Because that's the closest I can think of Herald. Each year. Yeah, this was nothing. I don't think there's anything else. There's a lot of mention of Roottrees Corporation. Much has changed over the last many months at the Roottrees Candy Company. One of those things is its website. Although during your last search you only got a good look at the history page, the design itself has clearly become much more sleek and very corporate. Gone is any history focused on Elias Roottrees. Instead, the site seems to focus on the present status of their candy offerings with high-quality JPEGs of each of their products. There are also some small ads for Root, which is the clothing company owned by the Roottrees Candy Company. There is a small section at the bottom that lists the president as Clark Rafferty LaRue. A short bio mentions that he was responsible for some of their marketing before taking the reins after the unfortunate plane crash. There is also a small memorial section for those that perished in the plane crash, including the Roottrees sisters, Carl and Brenda. Oh yeah, the mom and dad. Kurt Johnson, Mark Sanchez, Trish King, and Eliza Nicholson. I look up these names. Kurt Johnson and Mark Sanchez were the pilot and co-pilot of the Roottrees jet during its crash last December. Although the NTSB investigation has not been released, foul play has been ruled out. I severely doubt it. I think there was foul play. Maybe Sam orchestrated it because she knew that the plane crash would spike a bunch of Roottrees results, which would make it easier for information to be found because everyone would be talking about the Roottrees, so that way she could issue her book, get her revenge, maybe take the company under her own wing because she feels entitled to it because she got fucked over. That's what I think. And that's why she's not talking to Clark at all, because Clark is trying to fuck everything up. This is getting interesting. Trisha, or Trish King, was on the cabin crew of the Roottrees private jet. Elizabeth Nicholson, who went by Eliza, lived in a house with her family at about 200 yards from the section of the woods where the plane crashed. She reportedly had a heart attack during the commotion, and her family were unable to reach emergency services due to the overwhelmed phone lines in the ongoing storm. Her son-in-law managed to flag down an officer responding to the plane crash, but it was too late. It's not a murder mystery? Well, I'm making it a murder mystery. I like murder mysteries. Okay. Trisha King. Fuck. Trish. Fuck. Let's look up Elias Roottrees, see if that's new. Elias and Gwyneth Roottrees were never really celebrities, but the general public's perception of them as classic faces associated with the Roottrees Candy Company had always been in somewhat high regards. This was Elias's intention as a family man with his family brand. Since Six Pieces, the candy company has placed much less of an emphasis on Elias as a historical brand-connected figure, but there have also been those who have argued that it was his right to decide how to split his inheritance and that he did nothing wrong. This has led to some heated television exchanges and countless op-eds. I mean, on one hand, he does have a right to, figure out how he splits his inheritance, but he's still a dick for not, including people in the inheritance for stuff that they can't choose. Like being a child out of wedlock and being gay. People can't really choose that. Anyway. The first Anderson Maple Farm only used to be a popular tourist attraction during the summer months when it had special tours. However, it has since seen an explosion of off-season business as some religious and political groups decided to visit to show support for Elias and Gwyneth's traditional values and financial rights. Christ. Excuse me. This rise in support was in turn followed by pickets from gay rights activists when some particularly inflammatory organizations made their pilgrimages. Amongst all this conflict, the farm has since shut down, seemingly indefinitely. The website says, "Check back later," but it has no date listed. The quotes from Bess Williams' book appear to have been taken down. Ooh. Is there anything new? Ooh. Her only notable book, Family Man, is widely considered blatant propaganda about Elias Roottrees. It had been all but forgotten until recently, when it was re-released during the height of Roottreemania. There's a site dedicated to hurricane statistics that also mentions Bess Williams. The Bocadoro Library, not far from where she lived, was partially destroyed in the hurricane. When they rebuilt, they named the non-fiction section after her. The library was expanded again in 1950 and then closed in 1963 when multiple larger libraries opened in the surrounding area that made it redundant. Ooh. The Bocadoro Library no longer exists. You find multiple libraries in the area. According to the website for the library system in Miami, the building where it once sat is now the Miami Print Museum. Searching for the Miami Print Museum, you come across their website. It states their hours and a list of exhibits. The building is very small, admission is free, and they only have room for a few different displays. One of the exhibits is their courtyard, which includes a fountain as well as a statue of an unknown author. The picture has been added to your evidence. Another is a printing press that was used by the Miami Sunday, a now defunct weekly newspaper. Last is the original print of Cuba by Cubans, an art book. Miami Sunday has no records that you can find online or in your periodical search. It merged with another periodical and became the Miami Mercury Sunday, which folded after only a year. The Miami Mercury Sunday was a newspaper that lasted only a year, from 1949 to 1950. You find a small website about quirky printing history facts that mentions that the Miami Mercury Sunday was the outcome of merging two smaller failing newspapers. This resulted in one larger failing newspaper, which was only notable to the author because by combining the names in the way they did, it was tied to the longest title for an American newspaper at the time, of the newspaper in Jefferson, Texas. Cuba by Cubans. Book Paintings of Cuba, released in 1963. It's credited to Marcia Barbin. At first glance, it doesn't seem related to the research in any way. I don't think so. Well, I guess that was true. Blah, blah, blah. Ooh. Oh, no, it's just this. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. We already looked at those names. Blah, blah, blah. We already read that. Roottrees Sisters Fashion Scholarship? No? Okay. Ooh, maybe we can look more into the Clancy Trust. The Clancy Trust is the Roottrees Company's unusual legal arrangement, and the motivation for most of their major financial decisions. As a recap, the entire family earns inheritance directly from the profits of the candy company, as well as their sister clothing company, Root, with the period. This means that nearly every Roottrees can potentially have a say in the company's high-level operations. Historically, this has caused the family to be slow to approve any major expenditures that could significantly dig into the profits. After the release of 6 Pieces by Sam Madsen, the Clancy Trust came under heavy scrutiny. Sam, her children, and her grandchildren should have all been covered under the trust, according to the wording revealed during an internal family conflict between Ron and Robbie Roottrees. It seems that those who wrote the trust, Clancy Edward Roottrees, at the direction of Elias Roottrees, purposely deceived the rest of the family about the exact details of how it worked in an attempt to keep Sam and her father, Edward Clancy, his own twin brother, in comparative poverty. Because the rest of the family made money hand over fist, they had very little motivation to question their understanding. Sam's book revealed this to the public, and it did not go over well. Clark Rafferty LaRue took over the company, and his most celebrated move was his first official one. He ensured Sam's family would get their share. To help facilitate this, the inheritance aspect of the trust is now under the control of a third party, Ruby Legal Enterprises. This ensures the financial motivations of Roottrees family members will not interfere with the investigations into potential new Roottrees. According to Clark's letter, however, some family members are still doing their best to slow the investigation by refusing to answer questions. Well, it's a good thing we don't talk to people. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, let's look into Lauren. In the wake of 6 Pieces' release, Lauren Roottrees, author of A Life Between Wars, was tracked down by a reporter as being in one of the most upscale memory care facilities in Pittsburgh. She was relocated back to Pennsylvania when she began suffering from Alzheimer's. There was a minor backlash towards the reporter that tracked Lauren down because they were caught standing on a ladder and holding their camera over the privacy wall to take a photo of Lauren and her son Clark sitting on a bench outside near a small pond on the premises. Ew! Ew! What's Alzheimer's again? Well, I can't look it up on there. I know it's like a memory thing, but like I'm trying to remember like the specifics of the memory. Hold on. Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive, irreversible brain disorder, the most common cause of dementia, that slowly destroys memory, thinking skills, and eventually the ability to perform simple tasks. It typically affects people over 65, with early symptoms including memory loss, confusion, misplacing items, and behavioral changes. 7 key signs of Alzheimer's, often highlighted based on the CDC's 10 signs, include memory loss, disrupting daily life, challenges with planning and solving problems, difficulty with familiar tasks, confusion with time and place, trouble with visual and spatial issues, new problems with words, and poor judgment or mood changes with misplacing things, also a key indicator. What is the grammar of this? It's awful. But yeah, it's like a memory thing. That's disgusting. What that reporter did is awful. Let's see. Oh wait, I didn't see that there was extra stuff under here. Roottreemania lasted only a few weeks, just long enough for 6 pieces to re-enter the charts, and to trigger new printings of other Roottrees-related media. This included Lawrence Diaries, VHS releases of Gwen's old movies, as well as countless other unauthorized biographies, which mostly seemed to attempt to capitalize on the Roottrees sisters, Carl and Brenda. These re-releases were too late to successfully capitalize on or extend the craze. As a result, most of them were failures, and countless novelty shirts that had variations of "I'm a secret Rootree" became immediately unfashionable, though some people still wear them ironically. Gross. Like, I can only imagine, like, if people did that to me and my family. I'd be fucking upset. Especially if I was grieving for, like, family members that I lost, and then, like, people had the audacity to be like, "I'm a secret member of their family, ha ha ha." Like, I would be yelling. I would want to tear someone's hair out. Let's see. Samantha Madsen would be the thing. I'll try to just Sam Madsen. Oh, okay. Sam Madsen's book was released earlier this year and details the truth about Elias Rootree, as well as Sam's fathers, Edward Clancy Rootree and John Miller. You helped verify her story, so much of the book's core contents are familiar to you. That said, Sam had some sections on other family secrets and rumors. Much of it didn't matter to the primary purpose of the book, and some of it is new to you and may be important to your new search. These sections have been added to your notes. Ooh! So let's go. John Miller. Let's see. Root of All Evil. Root of All Evil is 5P's debut album. According to various sources, the album is mostly material that 5P's recorded for his mixtapes before he became notable, but re-recorded with lyrical differences in professional production. All Your Problems was the first and only single released. After dropping the single, 5P's announced he retained the infamous celebrity lawyer Stevie Whitlock to sue his family. To date, it doesn't seem like he's followed through, though. At first, the single didn't make much of a splash, but Whitlock, known for publicity stunts, paid thousands of teenagers a few dollars an hour to call and request a video on MTV, which increased its profile. MTV eventually caught on and banned the video altogether, which in turn received national news coverage and made the song even more popular. Who's Stevie Whitlock? Stevie Whitlock is a lawyer with a history of publicity stunts and grandstanding. Still, she's managed to rack up quite a few legal victories for C-list celebrities and athletes. She became famous in the mid-1980s after successfully suing a multinational sandwich company whose 12-inch stumps were actually an average of 11.5 inches long. Stevie argued that since the company sold 1 billion sandwiches per year, that was enough missing sandwich to make a sub long enough to span from New York to Los Angeles. The jury awarded her a paltry $5,000, but the news coverage of her crusade turned out to be priceless. Unfortunately, none of this seems to be related to the Roottrees. Damn it. MTV. Fuck. Let's see. Ooh, Guy Hudson. Guy Hudson, who was only president of Roottrees for a few years in the late 70s and early 80s, had mostly faded into obscurity, except for the fancy flavors debacle. Oh, excuse me. During Roottreemania, he suddenly rose to prominence again after 5Ps appeared on the cover of a magazine holding a photo of Guy and his mother. Oh, excuse me. A few people that existed adjacent to the company in the 70s have come forward with stories about debauchery and swinger parties. Guy liked to throw large holiday parties whenever he had an excuse, and they often got very out of hand. Is he the one with like the five infidelities tied to him? This fact has led some people to speculate that the night he died in a car crash he was drunk or impaired in some way, but the Butler County Police have released multiple statements and ample evidence that proves decisively that it was not foul play and that no party had taken place. Damn it. Roottrees lawyers have been quick to threaten litigation to anyone who has tried to disparage a guy or the company in public. According to fan sites, Felix Fellows is not 5P's actual name. His birth name was David Fellows. Dirt A Davy was 5P's previous stage name. He used to sell records to perform live shows in Portland under that name. There are some people selling his old mixtapes on auction sites. One is apparently called Dirt A Devil and another Dirt Poor. There's discrepancies and debates about what year exactly it was released based on some of the pop culture references, with a range thought to be somewhere between 1992 and 1994. One of the songs, Yes I Can Jump, seems to be at the center of the confusion. Some fan sites claim that there are multiple versions with different track lists and song lengths on them, though because there's very little evidence on the mixtape online as it is, it's even hard to verify that information. Dirt Poor is a mixtape by Dirty Davy, released in 1996. There's a lot of online discourse from people who like to point out that in one of the songs, Felix Fellows includes someone that would be revealed to be his own distant cousin, Raina, on a list of attractive women. Ooh. The lyrics to one of the songs, Heat, mentions a few different prominent female actresses, models, and musicians from the 90s, and provides a crude pun or line about what Fellows have felt about them. When re-released in 1999, while the rhetoric was toned down to be less overtly profane, and the line referencing Raina was clumsily replaced by Dana, a reference to a character from the X-Files. Where was the... Oh yeah, News Time, Guy Hudson would probably be the thing. Felix Fellows, also known as 5Ps, famously appeared on the cover of News Time, kicking off Roottreemania. Then, a week later, Miracle Rootree appeared on the cover of the magazine in an article that focused heavily on 5Ps as well. A summary of both articles, as well as a close-up on the photo 5Ps is holding on the cover of his issue, have been added to your evidence. Let's see. We'll take a little break from that. Let's look at this. Sam's book has a few different passages about her own history with the company and the rumors and gossip she collected during that tenure. Excuse me. She ran a farm for a period starting around 1968 after the death of Elias Rootree until her daughter Gwyneth took over in 1984. Most of the relevant rumors coincide with the reign of Guy Hudson, who took over as president in 1978. Sam was very much not a fan of Guy, and according to 6 Pieces, it was an open secret within the family that Guy was very much not a fan of remaining faithful to his wife Patricia. Many of their hires at the time were young single women, and Guy often spent a lavish amount of money on private parties. This was 20 years ago, and Sam warns that most of it is hearsay. Still, you find the following information that may be relevant. One of Sam's farm supervisors was named Elizabeth. Elizabeth had a daughter who Sam never met, but who worked as one of Guy's secretaries. According to Elizabeth, a caterer from a local restaurant called Antonelli's? I don't know. Met her daughter at one of Guy's parties, and they eloped quickly due to her pregnancy. Elizabeth wasn't aware that the party was for swingers. Rumor has it that her daughter showed up with Guy and didn't seem comfortable switching partners. Guy's main positive contribution to the company involved expanding to markets previously untapped by Rootree. However, when he went on trips overseas, they were often for weeks at a time, and Guy was known for spending more time and money on unofficial business than meetings with distributors or manufacturers. It was said that he bribed at least one politician to open a factory in Brazil. There is also a section where Sam speculates that Elias may have also cheated on Gwyneth. Oh! Gwyneth was always much kinder to Sam than Elias was, and was the first to invite Sam to family events. While she has no hard evidence, Sam always got the impression that Gwyneth was able to coerce Elias into allowing Sam back into the family using some kind of leverage. Instead of it being a natural course of events... I butchered that. Whoops. She mentioned that Elias and Gwyneth were known to loudly argue, sometimes about other women. Sam also says her son Ernie once asked her, "Who's Beth?" because he overheard them yelling about someone with that name. As far as Sam knows, Elias once had a secretary named Elizabeth, a different Elizabeth than the supervisor from the farm, but she never met her. Oh. I'm gonna get your face. Damn it, I can't get the faces from that. Five Pierce, aka Felix Fellows, appeared on the cover of News Time holding a photo of his mother and Guy Hudson. The article concerns his insistence that his father was Guy Hudson. The story was dramatic and sensational and initially dismissed as fake until a DNA test proved that he was related to Guy Hudson. 5P says that his mother, Joanna, was Zach Morden's secretary when he retired. Oh. And then Guy Hudson's secretary for only 1 or 2 weeks after that before she quit. The first few weeks that he was president. His parents divorced when he was 4 after his father learned of the affair. Felix and his mother then moved to Portland because she was afraid of her for her and her son's life. He grew up with her until he was 16, but one day his mother never came home from the movie rental store where she worked the register. The next morning, they found her dead from an overdose in her car. She had stolen all the cash from her drawer and spent it on heroin. Jesus Christ. As Felix went through her belongings, the only thing he had to remember her by were a hairbrush she always used, some photos, and a stuffed animal from her childhood. But then he found it, a box hidden in the back of her closet. Inside were love letters and photos related to Guy Hudson, as well as a letter from his father containing threats. He threw it all away, with the exception of the one photo he appears with on the cover of News Time. He says it was the only one where they were dressed. The only one not from the affair itself. The picture is shown in full inside the magazine and was added to your evidence. The magazine also includes some additional history about 5P's career. Felix Fellows was born to Riley and Joanna Fellows, but was never wrapped without a moniker. Joanna Fellows. I'm gonna have to look into that. But I might actually have to not pause the stream, just end the stream after I'm done reading stuff, because my throat is killing me. I may have to start going back to drinking tea, because my throat is regretting all of my life decisions. Actually, I might just finish reading this and end it, because fuck, it hurts. He tried to find success by opening for other artists and even by selling CDs on street corners in Portland. He was only recently starting to go as 5Ps to harness the power of his lineage. The writer did some research into the truth of these claims and was able to confirm that Joanna did work for the Roottrees company as a secretary sometime during the early to mid-70s. It also confirms that she died of a drug overdose and that Felix went into foster care soon after. They were unable to track down his father. They also reached out to the Roottrees company about the moment. The company's blanket statement was, "Since the release of a recent book, Roottrees has seen an overwhelming number of false ancestral claims. None have been factual and nearly all have been knowingly dishonest. We encourage individuals to reach out to us in an official capacity as opposed to attempting to use our name in the media for publicity." Fuck off. So yeah, I'll look into this later. But yeah, I gotta end the stream. My throat is hurting. Ugh. Christ. It could also just be the angle that my head has to be. The snotty tone, yeah. But yeah, thank you everyone who came to the stream. I'm really sorry I had to cut it short, but my throat is hurting. I may have to have some tea. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have some tea later. So the plan, because apparently this is gonna have to be a two-parter, so I'll edit that in a bit. So we'll be continuing this next Wednesday. We'll be playing. Okay, so I need to pick my lane. Friday will be Murders in the Yonsei River. Monday will be By Sweet Carol. Wednesday will be more Roottrees stuff. So let me just write that down. I also find it funny that if you put it down to the initials, it spells trad. The Roottrees are dead. TRAD. It's funny. And then I know that Roottrees River is probably not going to end on Friday. So we'll probably most likely expect that for next Friday, but who knows? Maybe I'll come through and we'll just be done with it. I sincerely doubt it, knowing me. And yeah, that should be pretty much the whole thing. But yeah, I gotta let my throat rest. I will see you guys on Friday. Bye!